What up? What up? Welcome back, everybody. MMA Sleepless Sharp and Professor Violence, the newly dubbed Professor Violence, is in the house. We're gonna kick off and break down UFC 284 for you. We're gonna give you some sharp betting angles. We're gonna give you some really sharp picks. We cannot guarantee you that they will win, but we can guarantee you that you will have the best plays, and your friends will all make fun of you when those plays fall apart and your guy gets knocked out. But the bookmakers will respect you,
The
and trust that you
bookmaker.
made their plays and thing. But we can't guarantee you. But overall, if you do follow us, we will fatten your pockets. And if you comment, like, share, subscribe on the show, please. I'd love to break it down for you on just exactly mathematically how we will increase your bankroll. You will make some money betting on MMA, depending on whatever your bankroll and your bet amounts are. Um, UFC 284 will start 6 p.m. normal time for us. Full card. Not a great, not an amazing early prelim or prelim. There's not really that many fights that draw attention to anyone as far as star power or excitement. There is a really good betting fight to bet, in my opinion, though. And I'd like to talk about that to kick off. So Loma Luke Boon Me is fighting Elise Reed. I saw this matchup like 2 months ago, and I was like, "Holy fuck, Loma will smash her." What would the odds be? And it opened up. Loma was like minus 250, and I immediately saw like her cash registers opening, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's."
Wait, she
I
was plus 250?
No, she's minus 250.
Oh,
She's about minus 300 now. But yeah, I as soon as I saw the matchup, I mean, if you follow MMA in detail, if you know who Elise Reed is, yeah, that's not. If you've ever seen them fight, you would think the same thing. You're like, wow, how is this? What is Elise Reed's path to victory here? Does she have one? The answer is no, she doesn't have one. Elise
so
Reed prefers to strike. Loma is a really good striker. Loma has a Muay Thai background, and Loma is a tough, thunderous bitch. Um, yeah, Elise Reed struggles mightily. Where else? Clinch and takedowns. Loma is really good at that. The only time I've seen where Loma struggled, Lupe Godinez, who's a really good wrestler and a big prospect. Yeah, Elise Reed prefers to strike. Um, as far as we know, her wrestling is pretty non-existent in the cage. Don't see that improving overnight. Um, yeah, the thing I really like about this is besides I do like Loma, and I feel she should be higher priced than this. Um, I think the value though is on. I think if Loma gets on top of Elise Reed has like no answer from her back, like at all, like just none. Um, I I don't see Loma's heavy top. She's vicious on top. I think she can get the finish. Under 2.5 rounds plus 260. Bet that. Loma Lubumi win by any finish when it comes out. Probably come out about Thursday night, Friday. Yeah, that'll be plus money too. I think that's a great bet. If you don't want to lay the number with a low level fighter, like even though she has a massive edge, I do under 2.5 rounds plus 260, and Loma to win by finish. Boom. That's where I kick it off. My betting card.
Loma to win by finish. So
Yeah,
why are
any
you
finish.
not impressed by Elise Reed? Because what I've seen from Elise Reed has me like I've been impressed, and I wasn't expecting to be impressed by her. But when I watched her fight Corey McKenna, that was the first one I saw her in.
Yeah.
That was you and one of the very first fights that you and I picked
Mhm.
was when Elise Reed beat Corey McKenna,
Yeah.
and then she did really really well against Sam Hughes to what I remember up until
mm,
she lost. I could be
I feel,
wrong.
no, to me, I think, I mean, yeah, like that's fair. That those were the results. To me, Corey McKenna beat herself in that fight. She didn't display the Corey McKenna that we've seen, nor the Corey McKenna that was a big favorite in that fight. She fought pretty bad, and Elise Reed just threw basic stuff at her the whole fight. and was able to keep scoring for most of that fight. When Corey McKenna, I think she got 2 takedowns, and she just didn't do anything well with either of those. Like made a lot of mistakes. Allowed Elise Reed to get back up, whereas when Sam Hughes was pretty much able to just run through Elise Reed, get her down, and just pound her and keep her down.
Yeah,
Um,
I got that wrong. That was she
no,
got
you didn't get it
smashed.
wrong. That was the result. Like that was those. That's what happened. Like she won that fight and lost that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I've seen like Loma is like yeah, like Elise Reed really struggles with takedowns, especially she's just not a physically strong person. Um, especially like in the clinch, she's just usually getting smothered, and I don't see how Loma doesn't have that ability here. Loma's got a really good clinch and trip, that Muay Thai background takedown game. So I think, yeah, I think she's able to get this fight down, and I do like she's vicious. The only thing that the angle I do see is I've seen like Loma can get a little tired. She's at a really high output. But I mean, I don't. She's never getting finished by Elise Reed in like she's not gonna be that tired. I mean, so if she wins the first 2 rounds, it's okay. She can lose the third round. I see it either. I think she can get a finish or unanimous decision. But the value's in the finish. Under 2.5, great price, plus 260. You never know. Maybe Elise Reed knocks her out. Who knows?
yeah. Elise Reed gets hit a lot. Uh, like even in her victories, she gets hit a lot. She absorbs almost a full strike per minute more than she lands,
Good point.
and
Forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Loma lands almost 2 strikes more per minute than she absorbs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loma,
Which is why she does get tired. I mean, yeah, I think she's 5 feet tall, so she's not. She expends a lot of energy, but she just keeps throwing shit. But they're good combo. They're not just basic stuff. At least Reed's pretty basic from what I've seen. Loma's pretty crafty. She's got some good combos.
Loma has more takedowns per 15 minutes than a lot of
Yeah,
grapplers first.
yeah, yeah. She's strong.
That's
She's thick. Like she's a little. You can see the muscle, like the thickness on her, like a small person. She's pretty stout.
so what did
She's,
you say? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you. Betting
yeah.
on
So
Loma to finish makes a lot of sense.
I think it's good value, and yeah, like I think I think it's there. Like you're getting great prices on it, because no one thinks it can happen, but I could kind of see it happening. Just the thing, like Elise Reed has no answer off her back, and Loma will. She's not just gonna sit there and like she's violent. Like she will keep throwing elbows and things in your face and bust you open. Like it's not going to be as easy of a not a nice time down there. But
Cool.
all right.
Hey, so 2 fights I want to bring to your attention for the fans out there. Tyson Pedro coming back in his second fight after a very big layoff. Tyson Pedro is special. And then he took like 2 or 3 years off due to damage issues. Oh, he fought
Mm,
twice in 2022. So this is his third fight back. That's a fight to watch. Also, the fight right below that, Josh Kulibau, who's pretty good, against Melsik Bogdasarian. Melsik has a ton of hype on his name. He didn't
yeah.
look he didn't look incredible
No, I was gonna
in his
say he
last
didn't.
fight. It was
No.
underwhelming, but
Yeah.
still, man, like he's pretty young. Oh, he's not young. He's 31. He's a very interesting prospect to watch. So if you're just looking for fun fights, those are my 2 fun fights for you to watch outside the main card.
I like it.
Should we jump into the main card?
Let's go main card, baby.
Awesome. Your first fight on the main card, Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menafield.
Jimmy the Brute Crew is back. We haven't seen him since. Unfortunately, he had a real nasty injury in the octagon. Anthony Smith checked a kick early, and Jimmy Crute's leg just started to went out. They were able to finish the first round. Anthony Smith had a really strong first round, and Jimmy Crute, the ref, he tried to stand up. The ref could see his leg was like a piece of spaghetti, limp spaghetti, and they called the fight off. But yeah, Jimmy Crute he's back. This is his first fight off the injury, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm almost
His
100%.
nah, he fought Jamal Hill. He lost to Jamal Hill after Anthony
That was
Smith.
after that?
Yep.
Oh, wow. I thought that was before that. I thought that was, well, all right, my fault. Thing, yeah, I remember that Jamal Hill knocked him out. He was actually favored in that fight, so coming off the injury, and Jamal Hill just KO'd him. Well, that actually makes me really like, wow, lean with Menafield more because I was going to lean with Menafield anyway. So I don't know what kind of Jimmy Crute we're getting. Jimmy Crute was strong. His wrestling was really good. Wrestling, powerful guy. Anthony Smith, he's not the best at stopping takedowns. Jimmy Crute wanted to strike with him in that fight, which to me was a poor fight IQ decision. I don't know why, but that was the plan, and then eventually he got hurt. But Anthony Smith looked pretty good against them striking. Uh, he came back and wow, he got knocked out early against Jamal Hill. So I don't even know what kind of mental space Jimmy Crute's in. I mean, he hasn't. It's been a while now since he's had like a 15-minute fight. Alonzo Menafield, is he going to resort back to his wrestling? Good luck with that. Alonzo Menafield's a brick shit house, and he's got about a 90% takedown defense. He's hard to take down. He's all muscle. Um, Maybe as the fight goes on, Alonzo Menafield, you can take him down. Maybe Jimmy Crute can get him down. But I don't know what Jimmy Crute's gas tank is like. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Alonzo Menafield, he's going to have the power advantage. The only thing is, I mean, yeah, he's only good for, like he's been fighting a lot better, but realistically, if you back Alonzo Menafield, you want him to get that knockout in the first round. You don't want him to get to the second and third round. Um, yeah, I don't know if I can trust Jimmy Crute. He's about minus 225 right now. I don't think you can lay that chalk and back him here. I don't think it's very, very smart as a betting move. Plus, as a fighter, I don't know what's he do. Like what's his headspace? You're coming back off a horrific injury, and then you get knocked out by Jamal Hill right away. You haven't. I mean, what's he going to be like when he catches a shot from Alonzo Menafield? Like I don't know. Jimmy Crute doesn't, like I said, the striking doesn't have the best striking defense. Alonzo Menafield should be able to land if they strike, and if he tries to wrestle, I mean, I don't know. Alonzo Menafield, I don't think he's getting him down early, so I think Alonzo Menafield's upset. I think Alonzo Menafield gets it done. If you're going to bet, I think Alonzo Menafield plus 180 right now. I think that's the play.
Yeah, Alonzo Menafield's going to get taken down and he's going to lose.
I love it. The complete quiet. Just he's getting taken down. Really, right away. Just he's going down. He's getting taken down.
Jimmy Crute's good for 5 takedowns per round per fight. He's got a
He hasn't done that in a
75%
long time.
accuracy.
He hasn't done that in a long time.
He hasn't done that in the last long time. Hold on, let's take a look real quick.
It's probably been 2 years?
8 takedowns against Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Now that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But Modestas Bukowskis, he just knocked out in round 1.
Doesn't count.
And then in his other 2 fights, they didn't go past round 1. And in the Anthony Smith fight, he scored 3 takedowns of 3 takedowns.
Yeah, he didn't do much with them. He definitely lost the first round against Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith had a really good first round.
Yes, absolutely. And I believe Anthony Smith to be better than Jimmy Crute on the ground. I do not believe Alonzo Menafield to be better than Jimmy Crute on the ground. Nor do I believe that Alonzo Menafield can stop the wrestle first approach.
But we don't know if we're getting that. That's the thing. You don't know if you're getting that.
Why wouldn't we get that?
Why would he didn't do it against Anthony Smith? And that's how you beat Anthony Smith.
He got 3 takedowns in 5 minutes. You're telling me 3 takedowns in 5 minutes is not a wrestle first strategy?
He did not come out with a wrestle first strategy in that fight. No.
I'm going to go back and watch that regardless, just so I can shit talk.
He went to the takedowns because he broke his fucking leg. You can't strike anymore.
I remember him breaking the leg. I do remember him breaking the leg.
And he still took Anthony Smith down with a broken fucking leg. That's how much Anthony Smith's takedown. That's crazy to me. But Anthony Smith's a fucking great fighter. It's crazy.
Takedown defense is slightly inflated.
Yeah, probably.
Ed Herman usually good for takedowns. A little bit. Ovid St. Preux, usually good for takedowns. Devin Clark, usually good for takedowns. None of them are like guys where you're. Devin Clark's like wrestle first, is grapple first, but he's more
Yeah.
like a hold you in the clinch kind of grappler. He's never faced a guy who's like take you down and tear you to pieces on the ground. At least not in the UFC. So I don't. I think that those numbers are going to get tested quite a bit. I would be shocked if he has over an 80% takedown defense at the end of this. Like I think he's going to get taken down repeatedly.
Okay. Yeah.
Now on the feet, Jimmy Crute lands more than Menafield lands and gets hit less than Menafield gets hit.
I don't know about that. That could be ground strikes and such. I don't.
All right, that could be ground strikes. There's. I don't want to take the time to dig into that to see whether or not it is, but Jimmy Crute's striking defense is 50%. That's normal. That's even on the little bit higher side of normal. Not high side, but higher side of normal. Dude, Jimmy Crute's got this fight.
All right.
Now that being said, Alonzo Menafield has looked fucking awesome in his last few fights, and I shat talk him every time. So your next fight of the night is Justin Tafa versus Parker Porter. John, you're a fan of Parker Porter, right?
I am a fan of Parker Porter. He's a fucking tough dude, and he's pretty well rounded to me for a heavyweight, and he always comes to fight. The guy just always shows up to fucking fight. Granted, yeah, he fucking fought Jailton Almeida last time, and it just didn't work out because Jailton Almeida is a freak, and the guy just outmuscles everyone, and no one can get up. And he'll get tested soon for a different way, but he couldn't solve that Jailton puzzle or make it out of the first round to see if maybe like things change. Okay, I'm throwing that out the window because Justin Tafa is somehow opened up minus 150 in this fight, and Justin Tafa lost to Harry Hunsucker. Like what? Like how are you ever a favorite and you lost to fucking Harry Hunsucker? Like no, come on, man. Like I don't like Parker Porter.
He beat Harry Hunsucker.
No, Justin Tafa lost.
Nope, he beat him by head kick. 1 minute and 54 seconds in round one. He lost to Jared Bandera and
that's the guy. Sorry. It was Jared Bandera. Yeah, lost to Jared Bandera. I confused the both of them. Sorry. They should fight actually to see who's like the biggest can. So there's like you lost to Jared Bandera and you're somehow coming out of a favorite to Parker Porter. Not that Parker Porter lights the world on fire, but Parker Porter's. I mean, he just can wrestle. He can do things. He gets on top of you. He'll keep you down. He doesn't make stupid decisions. Like he'll score points. He lost 2 fights in the UFC. Okay, he lost to Chris Daukaus, who was, who's done things, knocked people out. Chris Daukaus was a really good fighter. He lost to Jailton Almeida, who's might be the light heavyweight champ or heavyweight. The guy picks up heavyweights and slams them like they're middleweights. I don't for the way this fight's going to go, Justin Tafa and everything. No, I really like Parker Porter to do well here. I like Parker Porter. I think Parker Porter gets this win. Maybe I'm on the underdogs. Well, I like Loma, but I think Parker Porter wins this fight. This is a good matchup for him.
I do not like Parker Porter, but I do agree with everything you said. So I am picking Parker Porter.
All right.
I like more specifically, Justin Tafa's only victories are over guys who are not in the UFC or shouldn't be in the UFC. Juan Adams got cut from the UFC. That's his, and then Harry Hunsucker has lost every UFC fight he's had except for I think one. Nope, he's lost every single UFC fight.
Yeah.
So and then he also has lost to Jared Bandera. Who I honestly think is looking better, but he's currently on a 5-fight losing streak. So, Justin Tafa not showing good stuff. Parker Porter doesn't impress me, but
I don't. I mean, he's on this card because it's in Australia. Like he's on a pay-per-view card. Yeah, I don't. I think Tyson Pedro would have been a better fit on a pay-per-view, honestly. But okay.
No. So here's what you got to think about. UFC cards are actually 3 separate shows, not one show. So there's
True.
an early prelims, which have
Yeah.
a main event, and then there's the regular prelims, which have a main event, and the main
Yes.
card, which has a main event.
Yes.
Tyson Pedro is the main event of the prelims. That's a
Yes. Yep.
bigger spot than where Parker Porter is.
Really? Okay.
hmm it means a lot more.
Okay.
Parker Porter is thrown in there. The middle fight on the main event is like a throwaway fight. Like it's got to have something, but you
Yeah.
will very commonly see, like
Right. That makes
if
sense. You
yeah,
get good fights. Yeah, kick it off with something good, like a thing, and then have another one, and then you,
hmm
before the last two, bring it down a little. Like it tries to bring it down a notch of such.
yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's not even that they're not even trying to break it down, but they can.
Hmm.
They can phone this one in. You're already excited, and you're not going anywhere because it's only going to get better.
Right.
So like, let me throw you 2 fat heavyweights, and you'd be like, "Yo, let's see who knocks them out." Like that's a normal thing. That's why heavyweights are always on the main card.
Yeah.
You slap them in between 2 crazy fights and hope there's a knockout.
Yeah. No, it's totally makes sense. Yeah.
So our next fight, oh, is a gift from the MMA gods. Randy Rude Boy Brown versus Jack De La Maddalena.
Go ahead. Let me hear it. Come on, you're
Oh,
dying to speak about this. Let's hear it. It's
this
oozing out
is
of you.
just this is just a beautiful fight. First of all, Jack De La Maddalena has some of the most interesting stance switching that I've seen. He fights almost identically from both stance, which is super uncommon. Most people have. So when you change stances, it changes my targets. It doesn't change my weapons, but it
Hmm.
changes my targets,
Hmm.
right? Um, Body kick. If we're both standing orthodox, my rear body kick isn't an especially great technique. It's a good technique, but it's not a
Hmm.
great technique. But if you're standing orthodox and I'm standing southpaw, both of our rear body kicks are phenomenal techniques. So
Hmm.
most of the time when you see someone who switches stances, they also switch their style. Jack De La Maddalena does not. He looks virtually the same in both stances, and he switches effortlessly back and forth. In combination, out of combination, the dude's just always switching stances. He works behind a jab. He's got like awesome boxing style.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just a wonderful thing to see. I think he's still undefeated. No, he's 13-2, but he lost his first 2 professional fights.
Yeah.
And just everything I've seen on him has been awesome. Randy Rude Boy Brown has kind of grown up in front of us. Like he got to the UFC in 2016 when he was 6-0, and honestly, he got here too soon. Like he did well. Like his first 4 fights, he went 3-1, and then he fought Bilal Muhammad, lost. Cool. Bilal's going to fight for a title soon. Mickey Gall. He beat Mickey Gall, but Mickey Gall was here way too soon. Lost to Nico Price. And then he's steadily been going up. Lost to Vicente Luque. Cool, whatever. I feel like Randy Brown got here a little early, but he stepped into his own.
Hmm.
And man, in his last few fights, he has been a bad motherfucker. A
Yeah.
bad motherfucker. All right. So, Jack De La Maddalena lands 8.5 strikes per minute. He's had 4 UFC fights. 8.5 strikes per minute, and he gets hit 4 times per minute. That's insane. That's like, I've almost never seen numbers like that. Uh, with 67% strike defense, which means people are throwing way more than that. Like, that's, oh my God. This dude's incredible. It really, really is. And he's got pretty good takedown defense. And I I hope I hope Randy Brown wins this fight. I really do. I want to see that dude make it to the top. I think he does cool stuff. He sells T-shirts where he calls himself a brain shaker. I love it. I think it's great. But I think I think Jack Della Maddalena is going to tear him a new asshole.
Okay.
I think it's like I'm not confident it's going to be close. He's a pretty big favorite. I wouldn't put money on Jack Della Maddalena.
He is. He opened up way less, but the people are just on the Jack Della Maddalena train. I think he opened like minus 180, which is fair. Because Randy Brown's no joke, but now he's like minus 3. He's almost like minus 400. It's ballooning.
It's
It's out of control. Jack Della is. I have no idea, nor can I explain how he wins fights because whatever he does in there just shouldn't work, but it does. I mean, he does. He just has no respect for cardio, no respect for pacing himself. The man, who was the guy he took down? He did like the two most poor takedowns I've ever seen. He tried to suplex. Who was it? Hawaiian guy from Hawaii. He fought him like 3 or 4 fights ago. I can't think of
Angelusa is the only person. That guy's not from Hawaii. Nope.
Hawaii background. Yeah.
Nope. He didn't fight somebody from Hawaii. He fought Danny Roberts. He fought Ramazan Ameev, and he fought Pete Rodriguez. Nobody from Hawaii.
I'm thinking of. Wait, what?
Angelusa is from Switzerland.
I remember that he knocked out. Yeah, he knocked out. Well, then I'm thinking of the wrong guy. I'm thinking of someone that fought Brad Tavares.
Yeah, this is a different weight class, man.
Made a lot of mistakes.
This is
still won the fight. Who am I thinking of? They don't have the same name or similar name. All right. So Jack Della, I've seen those. Yeah, Pete Rodriguez. He did really well that fight. He took his time, but the other fights, I just don't. Yeah, I mean, he looked gassed. He looked totally gassed his last fight in round 2. He lost round 2, and then he came back and he just found more.
Duplessis. Is that who you're thinking of?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Dricus Duplessis. Oh, and Jack Della. So wait, who's Jack Della fought? Who did Jack Della fight last time?
Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts in November. Knocked him out.
Yeah, and he looked great. I mean, he hurt Danny Roberts like twice, and he did really good things.
More impressively, when he beat up Ramazan Ameev.
Oh God, yeah, I remember that. I think I picked Ramazan Ameev, and he really didn't show up and fought like shit in that fight.
On paper, Ramazan should have won that fight.
Should have done more than that. I mean, he literally didn't want to be there. He was like, get me out of here. Yeah.
That's what body shots do to you, man.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But damn, he's stepping up big here. Randy Brown has a reach over Randy Brown is going to have what, a 3-4 inch reach? Like Randy Brown is long. Randy Brown is.
Randy Brown will have a 5-inch reach advantage and a 4-inch height advantage.
Randy Brown, he doesn't, like what I've seen, he won't. Sometimes it looks like he's not offensive, which is a good thing, I think, in this fight, because he's not going to force anything. I don't think that's his style. Yes, he's been knocked out, but he got knocked out by Vicente Luque, and we mentioned it before. He got knocked out by good fighters, and they were
Nico Price.
Okay, he got caught, but like we said, that was a while ago. He's done a much better job. I mean, he didn't get knocked out by Chaos Williams. Like, he fought a good fight there, and he won. That was a tough fight against a guy who's got big power. Yeah, I don't know. From a betting perspective, it's Randy Brown or pass. It's better pass. This line is way too big for me. I mean, this is a big step up in competition. What if Jack Della has to fight for 15 minutes here? I mean, what happens? I feel this is going to be a striking battle, right? I don't think anyone's going to wrestle.
Um, I'll answer that question for you in 1 second. He's never been to decision. De La Maddalena has never been to decision.
Right, win or
And
loss, 100%.
never at any point in his career, amateur or otherwise. And Randy Brown is good for about 3/4 of a takedown per fight. So he took down Vicente Luque, Worley Elves, Nico Price, Mickey Gall, Brian Camozzi. He did more takedowns earlier, and then it looks like when he gets uncomfortable, he takes people down.
All right, I can
Yeah,
see that. Yeah, I mean, geez, I don't know. Like, I feel like Randy Brown's a different kind of puzzle. He's really long. His legs are also really long, and he does use them a lot. So I could see him doing some problems here, but I don't know. This is a dog or pass from a betting perspective. But geez, I
this
don't know.
this line is super inflated.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be -300. That's too high.
It opened, yeah, it opened about right, -180. I mean, he's like Jack Delp's fight close to his backyard. This isn't, but geez, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
All right. So who are you picking? You picking Jack Della or are you picking Randy Brown?
No, I'm gonna pick Randy Brown.
You're gonna pick
Because
Randy
I
Brown.
think Randy Brown is gonna back my
All
bet.
right. Our next fight of the night is Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett.
I, I don't know where to go there. I mean, I have no bets on this fight. I'm also not excited for this fight at all. So go ahead, it's all you. I
You're not excited for this fight at all?
don't
Are
even care.
you not? You're not a fan of Yair Rodriguez or what?
He's all right to watch, but like I'm just not excited about this fight. It's like, oh, we're gonna make an interim champ, and neither guy has a shot against Volkanovski anyway. If they fight again, I mean, why is this on this card? Like, what? Why do you want like a why do you want an interim champ for 6 months when it just doesn't make sense? Like, they should just kept Volkanovski the champ and done something. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
Because Volk's not coming back down if he wins.
Yeah, I was just thought of that. If he wins, he's not. Yeah, he's probably going to defend. He's going to defend something else and all that. So I guess you have to have a champ. But I don't know. I feel like neither guy's really earned this. So I think
Both,
Emmett has.
well, I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think Yair's really earned it, but Emmett absolutely has earned it.
Yeah, there's what he lost to Holloway, but he fought well, and then he got the injury. Right, the Ortega fight was an injury early. Yeah,
Hmm.
his waist too. Yeah, so he's definitely talented. But yeah, I don't know. Josh Emmett's a tough guy. Where did he just he called Calvin Cater, right? Was it Calvin Cater? Split decision
Uh,
win.
yeah,
Yeah, coming off of that, but like nothing like that impressive at Valley. Nothing I want to pay 100 and fight for this type of. I don't know. Go
he
ahead.
has the most knockdowns in featherweight history, and the only people that have more knockdowns in UFC history are exclusively heavyweights. And yet he hasn't knocked down his last three opponents, or he hasn't knocked out his last three opponents.
Did he step up in
Right?
competition though? Like, oh wait, he fought Daniel Gates. I thought he lost that fight. That was a tough
Okay.
thing, but that was a close fight.
Yes, he stepped up in competition, but I would argue that Ricardo Lamas in 2017 was a big step. And Michael Johnson in 2019 was like, that was a big fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just flatlined Mirsad Bektik. But like the Shane Burgos fight was stupid close. Oh my god, he got a torn ACL, a torn MCL, and a focal and an oh my god, and he broke his femur. Um, I he, if Emmett doesn't win this fight, he should retire. Like he does too much damage to himself, and if he doesn't get this title right now, he's not going to make it back. He's going to end up taking 2 years off after this fight because Yair damages people. Yair doesn't just drop you; he hurts you, like
Yeah.
wounds you.
He
Um,
also likes to throw. Doesn't I don't see him as I don't. He's not a defensive fighter in my opinion.
who?
Um, so maybe Emmett can hit him. Yeah, I don't. But I just don't have any leans here. What do you? If
You
you
don't
say
have
Josh has a pretty good shot of winning this fight, then maybe Josh Emmett plus 150 is a good bet. Right now, it's Yair's about minus 200. And the fight's favored to go the distance.
Hmm. Uh, Yair has about average defense, below average accuracy. What's interesting is that Josh Emmett's accuracy sucks. Like it just does. But his striking defense is actually pretty high. 63% is pretty high. Most people are in that 50 in that like 48 to 52 range, 53 range. Yair's at 53, so like he's a little bit higher. But man, if Josh Emmett could take down Yair Rodriguez, I think he could smash him. I don't think I don't think he's gonna finish Yair. Like I don't think he's gonna. I don't know why he would be able to finish Yair when no one else has. And I don't expect him to win a technical battle against Yair Rodriguez. So I'm going to pick Yair because I think he's a more complete striker. I think he's better on the ground as well. Josh Emmett is obviously better in wrestling, but Yair's a quality wrestler. He's good on the ground. And I think he's a significantly more, no questions asked, he's a significantly more dynamic threat on the feet. So I'm going to pick Yair Rodriguez to beat Josh Emmett for the interim world title.
Me too. All right, pick Yair as well. But no bet. So brings us to the main event of the evening. Okay, we have Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski, two fucking studs. The most interesting thing about this fight is you're seeing the two best pound for pound fighters in the world going at it. And you have not seen that in a really long time. You probably haven't seen this since a boxing match, maybe in I don't even know how long ago. Like boxers used to fight. Um, the best boxers would always try to fight and make like a certain weight. Like in MMA, it just doesn't really happen because there's weight classes for a reason. So they made this fight, and it should be awesome. It should be like, holy shit! Like the two best fighters are fighting. I feel like it's just kind of a pointless fight. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong because I want it to be a really good fight.
You think this? You think Yair or you think Islam versus Volk is a pointless fight?
Yeah, kind of.
Why do you think it's a pointless fight?
How is Volkanovski winning this fight?
Smoke and mirrors.
Is he really gonna? Is he really gonna stuff Islam and like? Is he really? Can he move? So he's gonna fight. So Volkanovski. If you don't know anything about him, he used to be a 225-pound man. He might have been heavier at some points. He used to be huge, lift weights. But he has the lungs of a much larger human being, which can work wonders. Which is why cardio is fighting at this extra 10 pounds is going to be that. That's the biggest question for me.
You think that fighting 10 pounds up is going to ruin his cardio?
What do you think? Do you think it will? Like you have more experience with that.
No, I don't assume it'll affect his cardio. Honestly, I think his cardio will be better. It.
Hmm.
Mm,
Can he be able to have the same footwork and be able to get in a range that is
no,
145 itself?
No, he's going to be slightly less fleet of foot.
Then I don't see how it can win. Islam's going to catch him, and I don't think Islam will have any problems taking him down. Volkanovski has a really underrated ground game, in my opinion. He's an excellent wrestler. But like you've seen these guys, kind of he's not taking you down, and he's not wasting any opportunity. Like he doesn't. He's not going to waste energy. He won't waste the position. To me, I think this is going to be a really boring fight. I think Islam is going to be able to get him down. I don't know. I don't see like I don't know how this plays out. I mean, even if they fight on the feet, I think Islam's a very underrated striker. He just doesn't use it that often. Winning striker. I hope they strike. I hope they have a round and a half or two. Like I hope they just go at it and light each other up. But like I have no confidence that Volkanovski can knock him out. He's a volume puncher. He outpoints you. I mean, so he would have to, and in order to do that, he's going to have to keep Islam standing for a long time. I mean, who's been able to do that? What's just on his name? Excellent. Armin was able to do that and like thing. I mean, so I don't know. No offense, but I don't. Even though Volkanovski, he is an excellent wrestler. I don't know if he's that kind of a wrestler. I don't. I think he's good enough. He wrestles. He wrestles excellently to where he plays against guys at 147. I don't know how he will do. How's he going to do with a guy that strong, that's been doing this his whole life? And once he gets a hold of you, how is he going to get away? So I don't know. The betting line is also like Islam's about minus 400, which 10 pounds. People might not think 10 pounds in MMA is a lot. That means if Makhachev is fighting 155, yeah, he's probably comfortable at 170. He cuts 15 pounds, and he's
No,
a
no, no,
fighter.
no, no. He's a 200-pound man.
Is he what? Really?
Islam
Wow.
Makhachev walks around at 190 pounds or more. Guarantee it.
Really? Holy
He's
shit.
over 200 pounds right now.
I didn't even think he was that tall. I thought he was like 5'8", 5'7".
I think he's 5'10", but that's not the point. Like, Islam's a big dude. He's 5'10". Islam's not a small dude.
Wow. All right. I didn't think he cut that much. So wow.
If Islam's under 190 pounds, I'd genuinely be surprised.
Yeah.
If you find me any 155-pound fighter that walks around under 180 pounds outside of camp, I will be surprised.
Okay.
A single UFC fighter in the lightweight division that doesn't walk around outside of camp over 180, and I'll be surprised. The only exceptions are going to be guys that just never gain weight. Guys that are like walk around, that's their lifestyle. But like, no. Take a weight class and add 30 pounds. Add 25 pounds, 25 to 30 pounds flat for every weight class, and just assume that's what they are outside of camp.
Okay.
Like,
I could see it. Yeah.
The 205ers that I know walk around at 230 to 240. The 85ers I know walk around at 205 to 225.
Right. I can see it. All right. Yeah, I don't know like how his thing, but not what he's like on this thing, but it's I mean, he's fighting 155. I mean, I just don't. I think Volkanovski, he hasn't fought at these weights since he hasn't fought like that for so long. I want to find a way to back. I love Volkanovski. I'd like to find a way, like to see where he. I don't. For a betting perspective, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you get a great line on Volkanovski, but do you? I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe there's a finish prop. Like I don't know what Islam is to finish, but Volkanovski doesn't get finished. So I don't. You just watch this play. I don't. To me, there's not really any sharp betting angles. You're betting against greatness one way wherever you lean, and I don't know. That's never a winning formula. So I think you just watch it and hope it's a great fight and enjoy it and see how it goes. Maybe you find a live bet, like maybe Islam can't catch him. Maybe he's just too quick. He can't get him down, and maybe the fight plays out like that, and you catch an upset or sorts. But I don't know.
So the only way that
I got
Islam
in the fight.
is super calculated,
Yeah,
super calculated. That's why his numbers reflect that. Islam takes a lot of time to figure out what the perfect opportunity is to do things, and that's why he gets hit less than once a minute,
hmm
right? Alexander Volkanovski's entire style is about overwhelming you with possibilities so that you can't get a read on what's really happening,
right.
right? Smoke and mirrors. There is a chance that the computer gets overloaded by the possibility and just freezes.
Yeah, sure.
That's what he's done to almost everyone else. He freezes you and then he hits you. So that's the path to victory for Volkanovski. It's focusing on footwork, getting off of the ground, or just accepting closed guard for a round, like that kind of thing. But honestly, the likelihood seems small. I do think that this line isn't, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna make line comments. I'm not the expert on lines, but I'm picking Islam as well. But I can't see. If I squint. If I squint and I give him a head start, I can see the path to victory for
Yeah,
Alexander Volkanovski.
all of that too, but I just don't. Realistically, I just don't see how that. Uh, I don't know if that can happen. Yeah, the line is getting Volkanovski at this price. If you have that back knowledge of him, is of that he can perform really as a bigger man. Like we just don't see it. I mean, if Islam didn't beat Oliveira so impressively, I don't think the line would have been this out of control. But people are just all behind him now. People are just behind the Dagestanis in general when they bet MMA. So
Mm-hmm.
people are just, yeah, why would you bet against them? Like it's just, they just don't lose. It's just a thing. But but he is fight. He's fighting, and I do think Islam has great striking, and it's underrated. But ultimately, he wins this fight. He wants to win this fight one way. Volkanovski only has to prepare for one thing. He's not really worried about Islam striking. Um, he wants to stuff. He's going to stuff takedowns and try to keep his fight up. If that happens, Islam's got to prepare for a lot. He's got a lot coming at him then, because Volkanovski won't stop, and he's just going to get hit. So he's going to have to think of a lot. So yeah, it's a way. But yeah, I think Islam wins. How does he win? I don't know. Does he finish Volkanovski over 5 rounds? We have to see the line. Maybe it's worth it. Like I don't know. But yeah, I got Makhachev to win this fight.
Yeah. So there you have it, everybody. That is your picks for the week. If you're trying to get extra picks on something that we didn't cover, reach out to us, algorithmversusexperts@gmail.com. Leave us a comment or get in touch with us on social media. You can find me at _Josh_Moody on Instagram. Hit us up.
Hit us up. Other picks? Yes, we will get them to you as soon as possible, early in the week. Best lines.
So don't forget to tell a friend this time and every time. Thank you for being here.